We begin with the latest from here in South Africa, where the world's first openly gay imam has been shot dead. Muhsin Hendricks was killed in an ambush near the southern city of the Eastern Cape. The details of the attack emerged through a CCTV footage that was shared on social media. Hendricks was in a car with another person when a vehicle stopped in front of them and blocked their exit. An assailant then jumped out of the car and ran toward the imam's car with his face covered. The assailant opened fire multiple times through the back passenger window, where police say that the imam was seated. Muhsin Hendricks was killed after he had reportedly officiated at a lesbian wedding. Police say the motive of the murder is unknown and forms part of the ongoing investigation. Many activists fear the incident could be a hate crime. News of Hendricks' death has sent shockwaves throughout the LGBTQ+ community, prompting tributes from across the world. The International Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Trans and Intersex Association denounced the killing.
Imam Muhsin in particular is a trigger first to human rights. It's so stressing that we could lose such an person. His death is not just about death, because it's not a natural death. It was cold blood. So it sends a message. It's just a message of hate speech, a message of human rights violation, a message of living in unsafe communities, and which calls for action.
Muhsin Hendricks came out as gay in 1996. The 57-year-old cleric ran a mosque in Cape Town, intended as a safe haven for gay and other marginalized Muslims. Hendricks had been involved in various LGBTQ advocacy groups and supported and mentored many people not just in South Africa, but across the world. His work challenged traditional interpretations of Islam and championed an inclusive faith. He also often spoke about the importance of interfaith dialogue and the need to address mental health issues and trauma faced by the LGBTQ+ individuals. South Africa's constitution was the first in the world to protect people from discrimination because of their sexual orientation. The country was also the first in Africa to legalize same-sex marriage. Despite this, the LGBTQ community continues to face discrimination, violence, and has been subjected to hate crime. South Africa also has one of the highest murder rates in the world, with around 28,000 in the year to February 2024. Why was Muhsin Hendricks killed? Has South Africa failed to protect the LGBTQ community? Why does the crime rate continue to remain high in South Africa? Now, for more on this, we have with us Mapaseka Steve Letsike, the Deputy Minister in the Presidency responsible for women, youth and persons with disabilities. Welcome to Firstpost.
Thank you so much. Good evening to you and to the viewers of Firstpost Africa.
Now, what do we know so far about the circumstances surrounding Muhsin Hendricks' murder? And is there any indication that his sexual orientation played a role in the attack?
Look, first, we are deeply saddened by this incident. We are outraged and we condemn this brutal murder, which we term assassination of Imam Muhsin Hendricks, who was a respected religious leader and a human rights activist, who was murdered, of course, as you have articulated. We do believe that, the circumstances that surround this assassination has so much to do with Muhsin's, outspokenness of supporting inclusivity in the service of catering for Muslim community, but also Muhsin has become an openly gay and who has over the years been attacked, been sidelined, isolated while providing service to minority groups. So we do believe, of course, that a lot has to do with, the catering of LGBTI community, but also in terms of Muslim community as well. But these are speculations, and the investigation is going on until the police can confirm this.
Right. And as the world's first openly gay imam, Hendricks was a trailblazer for the LGBTQ plus Muslims, as you've said there. What impact did his work have, and how might his death now affect the community that he advocated for?
As South African government and the community at large, we are certainly aware that our own constitution that anchors and supports South Africans and many people in the country, towards the unwavering commitment, around the struggle of equality, dignity, and the protection of human rights. And definitely what Muhsin has been trailblazing was anchoring what the South African Constitution promised as a protection and promotion of rights. What has been a greatest impact is that with a number of years having battled dealing with hate crimes and violence, and over the years we've really achieved so much through our national intervention strategy and reducing hate crime incidents. And you would have seen President Ramaphosa, our own state president, signing into law that prohibits hate crimes and hate speech, that no religion, no biasness, and no kind of hate will justify discrimination or even murder of this nature. And this impact is reversing the game, is really creating fear for LGBTI community, because we do believe that no one should live in fear because of their identity or even their belief. And this has really shocked the communities, but it has also shocked the country, including the Muslim community as well, that consistently condemn murders of this nature.
Right, and Minister, South Africa, as you've mentioned there, does have strong constitutional protections for LGBTQ plus rights. Yet violence against individuals from the LGBTQ community persist. What does this case reveal about the broader challenges that are faced by people in the LGBTQ plus community in the country, particularly within religious spaces?
Look, no doubt, the religious space entirely is confronted, with the challenge of dismantling, the kind of dynamics of what religion constitutes, but what the space of faith really looks like and feels like in reality. Violence is happening everywhere, including in religious institutions themselves. But this kind of acts reveal that government can't do it alone. And, our own country's posture says that we need a whole of society to respond to violence, but we also need religious institutions to dismantle patriarchy, sexism, homophobia, and transphobia. Now, while we understand and respect that Islamic teaching and practices does not recognize same-sex practicing individuals, but it does afford us an opportunity to constantly open up a space of tolerance, of engagement, but also of embracing human beings, that we don't lose people because of their identity or belief, but rather we create safety net of discussions and tolerance. And our constitution and our commitment as a country speaks to that. But we need a whole of society to help us deal with this kind of behavior to prevent violence.
Right. Thank you very much for being with us on Firstpost Africa and for all your valued insights there.
Thank you.
We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Gqebrha, welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
we were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 4.3 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.